Good morning, boys and girls. Today is day 6, and we have 15 days left of our life cycle of a chicken unit. It is Saturday, April 19th, 2025. We're going to start by reviewing a little bit on day 1, what the chicken embryo looked like. On day 2, the changes that are already happening. Day 3, day 4, day 5 was yesterday when the embryo became male or female, and this is the one for today. So how a chicken gets out of the egg is they have a little thing that grows on the tip of their beak called an egg tooth, and they use that little tooth kind of like a hammer to get out. And you can see the egg tooth after they've been born. You can see it for about 24 hours, and then it disappears. Isn't that cool? So many things we've talked about with science, with this life cycle of this animal, is that they have what they need provided when they need it. And then when they no longer need it, it either is discarded or it's not there anymore. So we've talked about the air sac inside the egg. The embryo, actually, this image is wrong. The embryo, when the chicken is ready to come out, is actually face down. So this fat part of the egg is where the air sac is at the bottom, that little pocket of air that lets the embryo breathe while they're trying to get out. But how they get out is on the tip of their beak. They have this little thing called an egg tooth, and it only appears 24 hours before they hatch, and it lasts about 24 hours after they hatch, and then it disappears and they no longer have them. So when you see a full-grown chicken, you never see an egg tooth, but when you see a very newly hatched chicken, you can still see their egg tooth. So that's so exciting, isn't it? On day 6, the egg tooth begins to form, the embryo begins to move. I'm hoping when we go over and candle some of the eggs today that you will see the embryo moving inside. Our 2 vocabulary words today are brood and brooder. Now, we've already talked about when a hen decides to be broody, right? When that suffix Y is added on the end of the base word brood, broody, it describes her. And that means that the hen would claim a clutch of eggs and she would go over and sit on them for 21 days. She would be broody and she would give the chicks, she would hatch the new brood of chicks. So a brood is a group of newly hatched chicks. The brooder is a place where you keep the newly hatched chicks. So this is very similar to ours. Ours is up on legs. It's like a table up on legs with a place inside like this that has a heating lamp. This one has a thermometer. You have to keep the chicks between 96 and 100 degrees, so it has a thermometer measuring that. It has a waterer. It has feeder in there. There's several things with the brooder box that we will talk about when we get closer to them actually hatching. But what I want to spend the rest of the time doing today, and I'm going to close the door so we can make it as dark in here as possible, is I want to look at some of the eggs. I started going through them yesterday and sorting out the ones with embryos inside and the ones without embryos inside. So far, out of the 30 eggs, I've pulled out 6 that I feel like do not have embryos inside. And I'm going to show you why I think that. And I may, change my mind today, but I'll tell you what we're looking for. We are looking for a black dot with red blood vessels coming out from the dot. We are looking for an air sac that has formed down here on the fat side of the egg. We're looking for it not to bounce back and forth. Did you see what happened? So I'm turning this egg from one side to the other, and see that yellow yolk? It is kind of floating with me when I move it. So that gives me indication that this one does not have an embryo inside. Let's check another one. And I may hold on to these until Monday just to be sure. But that's what we're looking for, the difference there. We're looking, this one definitely does. Look at that. See? See the little black dot with the embryo? You can kind of see it floating around in there. If I'm really still, we might can see it move. But it definitely has a blood vessel system. See it moving inside? So I was wrong about this one on yesterday. So we will for sure put him back in. That gives us 25. What were we at? We took out 6. Yeah, so 24. Now we're at 25. Let's check on this one. You guys help me look and see. Do you see life inside? Do you see the things we're looking for? I see a very porous shell. See how the shell looks like it has tons of little tiny holes in it? That's not the best thing for life to grow in because it lets too much oxygen out and in. So sometimes when you have a very porous egg like this, you do not have an embryo develop. But mainly what we're looking for is, does the yellow yolk float up to one side? Did you see that? So when I turn the egg over, watch what happens. This is laying down flat. This is coming to the other side. See the yolk float all the way up here to the top? When we turn it over, if it had life in it, it would stay where the life has attached. But this has a yellow yolk that is bouncing back and forth every time I turn the egg over. I see no blood vessels. I see no black dot. I see no air sac develop down here at the bottom. This one absolutely does not have an embryo in it. I'm going to put it over here to the side. That one was a green one, by the way, which is our black copper marine. This one does look like it has an air sac down here. See that little pocket, that little line coming across? There is our black spot in our embryo. It's kind of hard to see. This eggshell is also very porous. So this one may make it even though it has a porous eggshell. There he is. See him? See the little black dot? It's harder to see the blood vessels on this one though, I think because it is so porous. So I'm going to move it over here. That gives us 27 that we know for sure have embryos inside. Let's check this one. Ooh, I see nothing in this one. Do you? Nothing that we're looking for. I see the yellow yolk. Let's see if the yellow yolk flips back and forth with us for us. Does it float up to the top? I see no air sac at the fat end. I see no blood vessels. I see no black eye. These spots that you're seeing are actually the dirt. Remember how we looked at them first? Let me turn the light on so you can see what I'm talking about. See the dirt? That's on the outside of the egg where the chicken had dirty talons when she laid this egg. But that spot right there is just dirt. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for life inside. And what I see is a yellow yolk bouncing up, bouncing to the middle, bouncing up to the other side as I turn it over. So that tells me that nothing has attached and has started growing to the inside of this egg. So we're for sure certain about this one. And the last one is a green one. The green ones are definitely harder to see through, but let's see what we can see. Now, I see an awful big area of blackness. Do you see that? Like the only really part that's light is down here at the bottom. This whole side up here is black, which leads me to believe that there's something growing. Let's turn it around this way and see if we have an air sac. See that line coming across the bottom where that little pocket of air is down there? So guess what? This one has an embryo too. All right, so right now we're looking at only 3 that we'll be discarding out of 30. What is 30? Take away 3. That is our number that we will have. That's 27 baby chicks that we're hopefully will hatch. Now, anytime you deal with life, you deal with death. So sometimes we have 1 or 2 that don't make it afterwards. Let's turn this light off and check and make sure that all of our things are staying consistent. We want 99.5 degrees temperature. We want between 50 and 55% humidity. Today is day 17. Today is day 6, and we have 15 days left. Thanks so much.